Hello, just wanted to do a quick video to document my progress printing on the Tevo Tornado. So I had this red filament AMZ 3D printer PLA. So this was a translucent red, and I've been printing, well, I finished the whole roll basically. There's some left here, but I don't know if I can really use that for anything. And well, one of my big projects was this working Ocarina, and I have translucent blue PLA, and as you can see, that has basically just finished. So by the end of this video, I'll be peeling that off and show you maybe a little bit of how I clean it up. But as you can see, I've also printed other things, this Raspberry Pi case, some test prints over here, gold PLA previously. There's a little mini that turned out actually pretty well. The translucent PLA, I would say, does not show up on video super well, though, because he's missing a hand, right? He lost his hand. That was kind of my mistake, cleaning up with Cura support. So I have this Raspberry Pi camera mount, super useful with the Octoprint. I would suggest if you are planning on printing remotely in any fashion, so you can watch your print remotely. And I'll just give you a quick demonstration here. I'm kind of filming with one hand, so I don't have the other hand free, but this is what the, actually I'm going to have to, what the Ocarina kind of sounds like. And that's just basically playing like this, one-handed. So, do-do-do-do. So, the low notes work really well. The high notes on this red one did not seem to come out, like the very high notes, the two highest notes do not really work, but I don't know if that's a problem with my model that I printed or is a problem with the model that I used, because it's like several iterations to get a working instrument. So very impressed with this model. I reprinted basically exactly the same thing in this translucent blue. It doesn't look translucent, honestly, and if you can kind of see, there actually seems to be a bit of ghosting, which I didn't see in the other print at all, which is kind of weird printing, say, at this kind of an angle. So maybe just the smallest bit. Come on. No, the camera does not like focusing on this thing. It's too close. It's way too red. Yeah, so why don't we pop it off. Let's move this guitar out of the way here. So what you'll probably notice is that I have blue masking tape holding it down, and that's not actually because the raft, which is what I printed on, the raft didn't really fail, but I just like the extra sense of security that in case the print comes loose from this ceramic glass that the 2018 Tevo has, it just makes sure it's going to hold on, and it comes off easily. It doesn't really leave a residue, but you can always, I always just rub it down with some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, after the fact, and you know, it's just blue painter's tape. It's nothing special. And what I just do is I just watch the first layer, if it's a brim, or in this case it's a raft, it's a few layers, and then if I know that the bed leveling is good, then I just put a couple pieces of masking tape on and walk away. And also, you know, you can use this masking tape to kind of clean up some of this stringing here. And I'm printing this at a pretty high temperature because I was having a lot of adhesion issues to this ceramic, so I printed at a high temperature, and that probably is the cause of my stringing. I'll probably lower it down now that I've tuned up a lot of the other settings, but here's the first time, of course, I'm taking it off, and see, just very easily slides and pops off. So I'm not going to record this whole process. I just want to make this a short video to show off kind of what I've been able to do so far. So I made temperature towers, for example, and you won't be able to read the, oh, you can kind of read the lettering there, yeah. So I saw that my best results were, I think, around 210. I could probably lower it down to 200. Anything below 200 doesn't seem to be super great. And this is my test print. I have the light underneath it, so it's probably not super happy about that, but yeah, so I'm finding some dimensional accuracy issues, but bridging and even overhangs, oh, come on, even overhangs seem to be pretty good, so it's not going to want to focus, really, but that's okay. So yeah, this is kind of just documenting all those things. I didn't really have a particular topic aside from this ocarina in mind. So I'm going to start cleaning this up, and what I actually did to this one, it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see the shiny stripes. It's because I sanded it, so it's almost perfectly smooth, and where it's sort of a flat color, like all here, that's because I sanded it down, so, come on, so that this entire area, come on, so this entire area is smooth, and then there's a few of these ridges here where I guess that particular layer was a bit fatter, or those particular layers. I'm not quite sure why this was happening. It seems like the extrusion changes a little bit, and perhaps it's just the variance in this AMZ 3D filament, but it's kind of one of the higher quality specs. It's plus 0.03. So pretty good, and it's 180 to 210. They said not to print over 210. I have not tried printing as low as 180. Lowest I tried was 190. And it fits on this printed spool holder. I was using this spool holder before, but that's actually cannibalized from my Ender 3 that's not working. And if you've seen my other issues, you know that the Ender 3 is out of commission after its motherboard literally exploded. And I'm waiting on a replacement, which I probably won't get for another couple months. So thinking of just ordering another board and shelling out for it, rather than waiting on the manufacturer to actually send me one. But this Raspberry case, right now it's just the loose case, but I'm going to print the other pieces that are meant to attach it to this extrusion. So yeah, that's kind of just documenting. I did a lot of other prints in this gold PLA testing things, and I even did a massive print here. Oh jeez, it's so big I can't even get it on camera. Yeah, this massive vase. Unfortunately, I think the angle was too sharp for a thin wall vase, and it just has all these holes in it here, as you can probably see, and then also the top didn't actually, it has some holes in it, and then it didn't actually complete all the way. So that's it for me. I mean, you can subscribe if you kind of care of what I printed. I printed little bed support there. I'm gonna just try and, I printed little end pieces. I'm just gonna try and just use this channel as a documentation. It's not really meant to gain viewers or whatever, so I'm not gonna really care too much. But let me know if there is some question you have, maybe about the Tevo Tornado, or about any of the mods I've done. I don't think I've done any mechanical mods except for the what are these things are called? Dampeners. I put dampeners on both X and Y axes, and that definitely helped with the noise for sure. And it's also sitting on its own table with this piece of foam underneath it, but the table's not actually quite big enough for the printer, so the back is sort of hanging off. And I have this light here as well that shines so that the Raspberry Pi camera can see clearly what's going on. But I'm thinking I want to get, and you can let me know if you see this video and you have an idea, like a handle that goes between these two points and lets you like move the bed manually without touching the glass. Although this part of the glass is actually cool, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. But I want to mount a camera to this axis so that I don't get that motion. Because right now, when the camera is watching, this is what it sees, right? Constantly this is moving. So I would like to avoid that if I could. Anyways, this video's gone on and on and on. I'm probably rambling, so I'll probably do a kind of review video / overview of all the different mods. Like I did this little filament holder, but as you can see, it doesn't actually quite line up, so it's you know, fiddly things. Very fiddly, of course. If you know anything about owning a 3D printer, everything's very fiddly. Really like the heated bed. It's definitely one of the reasons I got it over like a CR10, just because it's 110 volts. And it doesn't come with a spool holder or anything. And and this SD card reader was bust. I could not use the standard SD card reader. I had to use Octoprint or print via USB on my computer, and that was just a hassle, so I set up Octoprint. But the basic SD card reader does not work for me. It is not shielded, and it just glitches out all the time. So I'll probably do a video addressing each of these things one by one over time, but I just wanted to do an update video because somebody reminded me, hey, you know, you didn't update anything on this, so this is it. Clean up this blue ocarina and try it out. See ya.